just wanted to kind of break down the progression of the album, the way the track list kind of works. Um, so with this being my fifth album, and I just wanted to do something special and kind of break down the album, get a look into it, and kind of see if we can have fun with it. So to start off, I just want to explain the way the listening experience is kind of broken down and why it's sequenced the way it is. Starting off with Where Did You Go? That's where it picks up where the Monster piece left off, the Monster piece being my fourth album. Where Did You Go represents kind of the dream, you know, to be able to go and travel and perform and have fun doing this whole music and entertainment thing. But then lifestyle, boom, snaps you back to reality. Or at least it snapped me back to reality. This is the life I live. It's just me and this room and, you know, recording here and there and going back to my normal 3 to 10, not really 9 to 5, but you know, my old retail job and living the life of the broken average. Then the thing is, I still have this lovely thing called music that I've kind of mastered. So therefore, I've graduated from Punchline Academy, able to get the help of Goat Low Key on that track. So that's nice, but I will get deeper into each individual song later. Since I have this music thing and the skills that I have with it, I also know with it comes the win. Yes, the talent is something that comes with temptation of women, and you know, I love the women, so sometimes I have the music catered to the women with I Want You featuring Lyric Reddick, and therefore being able to do these cool things with the talents that I've been given has made me feel unstoppable. And that feeling of being amazing and being able to use this gift over all these years and become so great at it, it's a powerful feeling. You really can make me feel unstoppable. Yet then I realized, as I continue to look back, there were times where I didn't quite feel that way, and that's where Loathing comes in, featuring Ashley Rose, a friend of mine. You know, growing up, realized, you know, not everything was you know, great, because outside of the music, you know, I did end up having some not great experiences, dealing with a bit with bullying and trying to fit in and having low self-esteem. So what do I do with that? I try to escape. And one of my favorite things to escape with are video games, and that's where Game On comes in. And of course, the most basic escape for me is performing in music, listening to it, creating it, everything about it, and being on stage. That's an amazing feeling, to be able to forget about my problems and just indulge myself in music and video games, and a couple of other things that I touch on later on in the album. But with that love of music and being able to create it, I realized that other people go through problems too. And since I have the power to use music to escape with it and be able to create maybe that music that can help others escape with it, I went ahead and did a part 2 to a song called Purple Hearts from Pieces of the Monster, and be able to follow up on that story of that friend that has dealt with a troubled relationship, and following up on that with MIA. They found out that, you know, there was a miscarriage with that relationship as well, that has troubled him over the years. And so just feeling, knowing that there's a lot of people who have dealt with a situation as terrible as that, I wanted to put that into the music to show, not know you're not alone in dealing with it, and those who may be struggling with that, whether they wanted a kid or not, that it's okay to have that pain and reach out and try and find some support in that. Since that was really specific, another thing that can happen just in a worldview, succotash, ends up talking about just the struggles that this life can bring to people who are the middle class and lower class, dealing with the pressures of society, and even just how violence can grow, and how people can struggle just to keep their families afloat, to survive, and how society will point out people who may be going through something strange like sexual assault or assault and battery, the things with police and all of the brutality that's been throughout the world, the violence against women, things like that, all a little bit touched on in Succotash, and knowing that the music needs to have a voice for those people as well, to make sure people know that it is a big deal. It's not something we should just push under the rug, and it needs to be handled. If it's not brought up, how do we, end up thinking about how we're going to handle it? But with the music, I've been able to do those kind of things and use my music to do those kind of things, I thought maybe it is a good thing that I didn't end up going into the industry. And that's where Strings come in, where I talk about me and my relationship with the mainstream and wanting to be able to maintain that creative control. And therefore I'm able to take a sound that is popular for more just for straight up escapism and even bad influence as well, and be able to turn it into something that supports independence and creative thinking. So that's where Strings leaves off, and then showing, for love's sake and for pop's sake, I can do and have fun with that as well. We don't always have to have a message, but hey, there's the hope of love and being able to enjoy yourself with the music as well as having a great message. And that's where Take a Chance kind of has its role, along with Lindsay Alderman helping me out on the vocals on there. Right after that, Do You, which is some more positive thinking. Got to keep your head up in this world, be able to be comfortable to be yourself, and just explaining how I've been able to slowly become comfortable with being myself despite the self-loathing I have at times. It's important to be happy with who you are and who you become, and be able to express yourself comfortably in an authentic way. Since I bring up, liking being an anime nerd, and even though I like to perform, I actually kind of keep to myself. I'm a little introverted, and just enjoy my music, games, and watching YouTube and silly things like that. Just being able to be me here. At times, even though you're trying to stay positive and not let the haters kind of take you down, sometimes you gotta address the haters, and that's where Hold It comes in. And it's basically a song to call out anybody who has a problem with me being me, anyone who has a problem with me enjoying making the music I make, and also just having the integrity and the gall to try and not cave to what the industry says is normal to do, the messages that's important to spread, and types of music to make that's supposed to be popping. Once you're done addressing the haters, you still just gotta end up knowing who you are at the end of the day. And this what the whole album kind of culminates to with TLDR, or Too Long Didn't Read, where I just kind of look back on all of my experiences that don't even necessarily have to do with music, because for a long time I felt that the only thing I was good for was my music and my talent to entertain, and I thank God for that gift. But for a long time I felt it was the only thing I had that was good to offer, which I found wasn't true. And as I look back to everything that has shaped me, and all the influences, my family and friends that have helped me to become the person that I am, I realize that me being comfortable who I am in all things that I do is actually helpful to others, and be able to help them get through the struggles that they go through. So I just kind of put out everything out there so you know what made me, and maybe that can help you to look back to what made you who you are and the things that you're proud of. And finally we end up with the bonus track that everyone gets with Fire, where I just kind of go ahead and put the artist in the forefront, and all its creative glory, just having fun with the craft of rap, because there's Dario and there's Fire Blaster, and what I'm presenting to you is a little bit of both with gems. At the end of the day, when it comes to this rap and stuff, you know I got that fire. And that's gems kind of in a nutshell. The train of thought that came into the track listing, and how it flows together, and hopefully it creates an experience that you can enjoy heavily. So, yeah. Much love, peace.